Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Now that the fall billing's been issued and it's also officer reporting time, we wanted to take a moment to do a quick update for you with a new training video of some features for the new system. So there's two things I wanted to cover today. I wanted to talk about officer reporting again, and I also wanted to give some updates on processing memberships around this time of year. So what we're going to do is we'll talk about officer reporting first, and you can see that I'm already logged in. I did not go through the login process again because we did run into some problems with the first set of videos, that there were some privacy issues that YouTube did not like. So we did not show the login process this time. But again, you can refer back to earlier messages about how to do that. So once I'm on the league's website, I'm coming to chapter resources. And then I have this menu here with some of the main topics that you can cover. And we're going to look at officer reporting first, which is right here in the middle of the screen. And I'm already logged in as a chapter officer. And we go to chapter leadership. And you can see there's a list up here of everyone who was a current officer in the prior year. If nothing has changed on that list, all you have to do is click renew all records and it will update everyone and you're finished. If you need to add new officers, you have an option here. You have the button to enter someone. You can pick a person off of your membership list and you can search by ID number. You could browse the list. You could search by name. This status field means that they are active members and entitled to become officers of the chapter. So once you find someone, we'll just pick the first person here on the list and it plugs in their ID number automatically for you. And then you just need to identify what their position. And we're going to say he's going to be the newsletter editor. Click submit. And you just follow those same steps for each of your other new officers. If you have people that were current last year, we'll return to the roster. But not everyone on this list is now current. Let's say you have a new president and Daniel is no longer an officer. You need to edit these records individually. You can't just click renew all. To do that, you can see if I look down here at the grid, the only active officers I'm seeing are the one we just added, Jared, and the membership officer. What we want to do is do a past member search. And if you enter the term ending date of August 31st, 2025, whoops, this will get you that list that we see up above so that you can edit individual people. And this date range is based on the fact that national bylaws state that all officers must be in place by September 1st of each year, and their terms expire at the end of August on the next year. So that's why this criteria is there. So now we have this list down here at the bottom. Daniel's not the president anymore. We're going to just leave his record alone, but we can go into each of the other records and update their term to August 31 of 2026. You're always going to leave the term start date alone. That's our history of how long someone's been in office. And we can keep going through here and we can edit each record that needs to be updated. And when you're all finished, then you can just save. I would caution you not to use this red X button. I know it is there. It's a feature of the program that allows you to delete a record, but we ask you to please not do that and let the term date be the thing that identifies whether someone is a current officer or not. The detail about them is the only way that we can keep a history for you of who your officers have been over the past. If you use that X delete, all of that is gone and we cannot recover that information. So please, I urge you to not do that. So I think that's all I wanted to update you on about adding officers. And you can see we still got the short list up here, people that hadn't been updated yet. And there is also a tip sheet, some graphics of these different screens that we will be sending out to everyone, as well as posting on the website along with this new video that detail everything that I've just gone through in a PDF form that you can print out and have next to you at your screen while you're doing the data entry so that you don't have to constantly refer back to this recording. It will give you directions on each field and what data to put in there. So now we're going to go back to manage chapter again. And we're going to manage membership this time. And if you are the membership officer for more than one chapter, you would see a list here and you could select the chapter that you are interested in working with. This screen has all of the batches that have previously been submitted. And you can see there's now there's a field we've added here that tells you that whether these batches have been paid or not, what the payment status is. We've just added that field recently to help you understand this grid a little bit better. Batches that have been submitted and paid or will be being paid by a check, you can't go back in and open them up again. Only batches that have this manage and delete function mean that these are active batches that you can do something with. You can add people, delete people, anything you need to do. Remember, there are two different options here. You can do mid-year membership changes. This is for people who are already renewed for either this year or that they then have already renewed perhaps for 2026 and you've already processed their payment. And then maybe a few weeks later, a month later, whatever it might be, they decide they're going to perhaps add a spouse to their membership and they want to upgrade to family membership. You would come here and do those changes here under mid-year changes. And there are instructions for this that are in the other training video specifically about membership, and that information has stayed the same. You can go and view that again at any time. What I want to talk about more today is adding new members and processing renewals, because we are in that time of year now where there are two different years that are in play. And you can see here we have the option when you go to create a new batch, you need to identify, are you doing things for 2025 or are you doing renewals for 2026? One of the key things here to remember that there's been a lot of confusion on is year and a half members. If you have someone that's paying for 18 months, which basically means they join now and their membership is extended out through December of 2026, meaning they don't have to pay. They aren't going to be in the renewal cycle right now. A lot of people have been selecting 2026 as the batch option. You need to select 2025. You need to pick the year that the membership begins in. If you don't do that, you will not see the options. If you do 2026 and then try to add a new member, you will not see the options for the year and a half term of membership. So let's go ahead and do a 2025 just so I can walk you through that process. And so now we have our new batch. We have the other one that's out there still in the process, but I'm going to go into this brand new one right now. And we're going to add a new member. And the system does require you to search first to see if the record you want might be out there already. You see there's no add new button yet at this point, so I need to look. Well, the system found a Peter, but this is not the record I want. The person that I want to enter has a different first name and is in a different location. Now I can do add new. And you will get the fields to add the new membership. And the next screen is address information. And I apologize, this is a little slow. I am on a test version of the system and it is not quite as quick as the production environment. Please bear with me. This is also the same screen you would use if you're adding a half-year member, brand new member joining for the last half of 2025. That is also where you would do that entry. Here we go. Nope, we're still in the United States. My fault here. Yeah, I should have done Maryland. There we go. And now I have the options to say the membership type at each level. And here is your options for the 18 months, the year and a half, or the half year. Once I select the year and a half, the system now, it knows that it has charged the right dollar amount for 18 months worth of membership. This particular state does not have state division dues, so we only see the amount for national dues. In this same batch, you can continue adding new members, or if you have really late renewals for 2025, remember we're in a 2025 batch, we can pick people off of the list that are still due to renew, and we can add them. To get to your 2026 renewals, you do need to open a different batch and you need to select the option for 2026. This batch I could go ahead and finish. I can do payment options. I do want to show you if there's any kind of a failure with the payment, what you can do. There is an option here to mail your payment or to pay now. The pay now would be PayPal, ACH, or a credit card. There have been some instances that a credit card may not have gone through. There may be a problem with the ACH transaction. What happens then is that these chapters, it creates an invoice that you need to pay. And I wanted to show you where to find those invoices. Here on this menu under Manage Chapter, we can do, and it's labeled this non-financial updates. This allows us to manage the Eugene chapter in this case. And you will be able to see the invoice that's been created. So again, if you have difficulty with the payment and you're ready, you do want to still pay it. If you look here under transactions, there is you can see this particular chapter has an invoice. You can click on it to select it, and then you can go to your cart and go ahead and finish that payment. So just because the payment fails when you're on the payment screen does not mean you're out of luck and can't get to it to finish it out. So just remember that this option is here. And then we go back to manage chapter. And then here are all the other options. Those are really the two main things that I wanted to cover today. And again, to tell you that there are also going to be hint sheets that lay out all of the membership processing screens, whether it's for the half year or, a 2026 renewal, that guide you through what each of the fields indicates, how to enter family members, all of the details that you'll need. So those pages will also be available. There are, again, the pages for about officer reporting. There are pages about how to run a roster. There are pages that give details about using the National Directory printouts. So hopefully you will find those will be helpful for you. And I really encourage you to review those at your earliest convenience. And I hope this additional information has been helpful for you. And I appreciate you taking the time with us today. Thank you.